All right, brothers and sisters, as is our tradition, I'd like to show some common pitfalls that people fall into when they are programming with if statements for the very first time. I had a couple come to mind, and let's just carry it away. Okay, so I'm going to write a very simple program here. I'm going to ask the user for a number. I will tell them if the number is greater than 100, less than 100, or exactly equal to 100. So let's go ahead and ask the user for that. And of course a button. Okay, so let's come in here, let's grab the number out of the document. Okay, here is the common pitfall. So common pitfall number one is when we are asking a complicated question, like is the number greater than 100 and is the number greater than 200, sometimes we forget to use the operator or the full set of questions, okay? When we ask questions in English, like is the number greater than 100 and 200, that's not how we ask the question in programming. We have to ask the question basically like this. We have to repeat the condition over and over again. Is the number greater than 100 and is the number greater than 200 and is the number greater than 300, right? If someone came up to you and asked you that question, you'd wonder if they were an alien. But unfortunately, that's the kind of thing we have to do in computer programming. So let me show you the pitfall. Sometimes people will ask the question and say, if the number to check is greater than 100 and 200, right? This is how we would say it in English. Is the number is the number to check greater than 100 and 200, right? And that's exactly how I've written it. This is a problem because it isn't valid JavaScript. Okay, we need a Boolean statement on both sides of the AND operator. And the Boolean statement means a statement that can be evaluated to true or false. So we can say the number to check is greater than 100, true or false. But when I ask you, is 200 true or false, that's not a great question. Okay, so really what we need to do is ask the question again, okay? Is the number to check greater than 100 and is the number to check greater than 200? All right, so this is one way we're going to have to talk and think a little differently this semester in order to make coherent JavaScript statements. Okay, and if it is, we're going to do sorry, wrong ID. Okay, just to show you exactly what's happening, I'm going to write it the old incorrect way, okay? The number to check is greater than 100 and 200. Okay, that was unexpected, right? 150 is not greater than 200, but we still entered this if statement. And the reason is positive numbers actually evaluate to be true, okay? If it's anything negative, then it will evaluate to be false, okay? Or at least that's how it is in many other programming languages. So this is a bug in our program. 150 is not greater than 100 and not greater than 200. So again, I need to ask the question basically twice. Is it greater than 100, and is it greater than 200? Okay, and now we are not getting it, all right, which is expected. All right, so remember, you can't write the JavaScript exactly how you would say it in English. We need to be a little more explicit, okay? Pitfall number 1. Pitfall number 2 is oftentimes new programmers will forget the curly braces, okay? I want to show you that the curly braces are actually optional up to a point. Okay, you can see here that I've got an if statement, and then I've got a statement directly after that, okay? In JavaScript and in many other languages, if there are no curly brackets following an if statement, then the first statement directly after the if statement will be grouped with this if statement, meaning if this is true, then this will be executed. If this is false, then this will be skipped. Okay, but sometimes we forget curly braces, and we want to do a couple different things. Okay, I've cleverly kept the indentation here the same as the statement that I know will get picked up by this if statement. But in fact, this second statement is going to happen whether the number is big enough or not. So just to prove that, let's go here and do an. Okay, so maybe a new programmer would think that, okay, I've indented these two statements with this if statement, so I'm expecting that I will only set the number to check to be 1000 if this condition is true. Okay, so we did in fact skip this statement because we didn't output that's a pretty big number, but you can see that we did change the number to check to 1000, and then we output to this document, okay? So remember, if you want to do multiple, if you want to group multiple statements with an if statement, you always need curly braces. Okay, now this if statement has two other statements inside of the curly brackets. So if this condition is false, then we will skip all of the statements inside curly brackets, including this setting the number to check equal to 1000. Okay, so let's come over here. Let's try it again. Okay, and we did not set the number to 1000 this time because this statement was skipped, because this statement was included inside curly brackets. So avoid those two pitfalls and you'll be just fine.